All right, everyone, Mr. Sunshine, Rolls-Royce technician Eddie coming back to you live right here in sunny South Florida. And as you can see, we're continuing our disassembly of the Rolls-Royce accumulators. So what we need to do right now is we need to release whatever gas is left in this accumulator. Now, they're normally charged at 1,200 PSI of nitrogen. And what we're going to do, because the brake light 1 and 2 were on at the customer's car, we're going to go ahead and, before we can take this apart, we got to make sure that it's totally discharged of all nitrogen. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our little tool here. We're going to screw it right down on here. Goes right like that. Then we're going to use this, and this is going to push a pin down into the sphere. So you hear that gas? There was just very little, if any, in there, just a little residue of gas. So these accumulators were actually flat. They're called flat when they have no nitrogen left in them. And the brake light, there would be no brake pressure, no brake pedal, or the suspension would be down as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, and we might as well just do them both while we're here. Back this screw out so that we can screw this down. Take our Allen wrench, screw it down in. Listen. That one had absolutely nothing in it. So these two accumulators were totally flat. They had nothing inside of them. So that's why the brakes weren't working, and that's why he sent them here to us. So we're going to go ahead and start dismantling these. We have a special tool that's going to take these apart for us, so we can get on and rebuild the inside and recharge it all. So we'll come back live and show you exactly the next step in these brake accumulators. So now we have it in the fixture here. What I did was I had to make a custom fixture because there's so much torque on that. We may even have to use a 6-foot breaker bar in order to split that sphere. So what I did was I went ahead and made one that would fit the hitch so that it will not move. And as you can see, we have it locked down. It's locked in there. We have these two on each side fingers that are going to hold it down as such. And now we're going to put the big wrench on it, and we're going to see if we can split that sphere apart. So we'll see what we can do here as far as that's concerned. We'll stick it on here as such. Hopefully we can get it split. Oh, this phone's not going to stay with this wind. Let's see if we can get it this way. No, that's not going to work either. Let's see if we can get it right here. It's not too sturdy. Nope, we'll have to just come right back. And there you go. We cranked it over with that big bar right there. And there it is. We got it loose. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull this off. And then we'll put the other one. We're going to split them both at the same time. Get it done here so we can start rebuilding them here ASAP. All right, so now we're ready for the second one. As you can see, the other one just leaked some fluid out. We have it sitting down here. Now, what we need to do is we got to put this nut on the bottom. With that nut on the bottom is going to keep this from moving. So we're going to leave it stationary. You see this? I had it cut open so that this will tighten it down, because we don't want that coming loose up out of there, and then it's going to round it off. So I actually got a special nut to just kind of give it a little tighten. Now that thing is good. It's good to go. It's not going to move. Now we're not worrying about the alignment on this. We're going to do the alignment on when we reassemble it to keep it from moving, so it doesn't smear the diaphragm. That will stay stationary, and we'll be tightening down this ring at 300 psi. But for right now, we're just going to get this thing disassembled. We don't care about the diaphragm. We're putting a brand new one in anyway. So let's go ahead and finish putting the unit on there, and we'll get this one split open as well. Okay, so what we're going to do right now, we're ready to go. I'm going to try to hold it. We're going to use this breaker bar to go all the way. We're going to try to just do it. It's a little hard to hold this. I should be doing it with 2 hands, but we have long enough bar here. We'll try to snap it as far as it's going to go. We get this thing moving up and down just like that. So let's go ahead and get this thing snapped open. Oh, there it is. And we got it done. Let's go ahead and pull this off. And then we have to say, here we go. We got the ring off. Now we have to go ahead and I got to take my screws off of here in order to unscrew this, and we get it back on the bench. Okay, so we're back up on the bench right now. Let me turn this, make sure we're back on the bench right now. We're going to go ahead and get this thing unscrewed. This is it. You see how it just, this is a ring that goes across here as such. These must be virgin. These were never repaired, never rebuilt before. They're in great shape. There it is. You can see the ring. That's the ring right there. We take the ring off. We're going to go ahead and lift the, separate the two halves here. The separator of the halves. Just a little bit stuck here. I'm going to just tap on it a little bit. And it's sealed up pretty good right now. So what we'll have to do is just put this back in their thing, and we're going to use this and just kind of loosen this up. I will be right back. Okay, we went ahead and stuck it in the vise. We put a 15/16 on here, and now what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and pop this off. And as you can see, take a look at that. There it is right there. There it is. There's the diaphragm in there that was pushed out. And what we'll do is we'll just kind of clean that off a little bit. You can see the oil down at the bottom. It's draining out of the bottom of the, or I should say the top, because that would go up into the valve. You can see all of this in here. This all has to be cleaned out. All of it. We're going to separate this diaphragm here. This diaphragm is stuck. It's literally stuck to the accumulator body. So this just is going to get pried out of here without jamming my hand in any way, shape, or form. Look at that. It's sealed in there so tight that it just fused itself right to that accumulator. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead, stick it in the parts tank, and let it soak a little bit, and then that should take it off of there. So let's go ahead and just show you what the inside. Let me see if I can just kind of work this around. Yeah, the factory looks as if they may have put some kind of a sealant on there, which they shouldn't. There it is. There it comes off. No, it's just with the age and the extreme heat. There it is. Take a look at that. There it is right there. There it is. Look at that. Nice and clean in there. So it just actually basically just ran out of air. Nitrogen leaked out of it. This is now shot, but we wouldn't be using this anyway. But there it is. That's the original diaphragm in there. And there you can see it. And then when we get through here with this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull the valve out. This is the valve down in here. We're going to pull that valve out right in there. And this one has the old ball bearing in it, so we'll get that out. We have a brand new type valve that's going to go in there. So this is all going to get cleaned up right now in the parts tank. We'll separate the other one, and then we will be good to go. I'll come back live in just a little bit. Okay, so now everyone, we got it pretty much cleaned up for what we're going to do as far as this is right here at this particular point in time. So what we're going to do now, we're going to pull the old valve out. There's the, and what you need is a really fine set of True Arcs. These are the real fine needle Imperial IR 250Hs for internal rings. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to reach in there and we're going to take the snap ring, the C-clip out of, or the ring out of there. And what we'll do is we'll take it out just like that. Set it down. I want to hold this so we don't lose it. And there is the snap ring. There's the ring right there. And we'll set that aside. And then we're going to go ahead and push the original valve out, because we're going to put a brand new, the new style valve in there. We'll push it through there. And on the other side, there it is right there. You have the spring. You have the spring retainer. There's the spring retainer. There's the spring. And there is the ball. It's actually a nylon ball. There it is right there. A nylon ball. And as you can see, we will just set that aside as well, because we're not going to be I'm going to be using brand new parts. So there it is. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean the inside of that port out. We're going to get that clean, and then we're going to go ahead and clean all of this around the outside so it'll look really nice for its owner. And here we go. We already got the first part of the sphere done. Take a look at that polished up sphere. There it is right there as compared to the other one. That's what they both look like. I just spent a few minutes hitting this in the glass bead cabinet and then polishing it up a little bit. So it is ready to go. You can see the inside here. We're going to polish that up. But around the ring where the brake accumulator diaphragm sits, it is nice and polished all the way around there. So we're going to go ahead and finish up the rest of them and get them all shined up. And as you can see, we have the two of them already polished up here, and they're looking all so fine. We're going to finish the ring and the other half of the accumulators, and we'll have some nice looking accumulators ready to get rebuilt and back in action.